Welcome to my views and news. Breaking news from the Amhara region of Ethiopia, where a security operation, limited targeted operation against armed militia, Fano, is underway in different parts of the region. We have been seeing operations to arrest top Fano commanders. For the first time since the start of this operation recently, we are now seeing the use of drones. Which drones? Reconnaissance drones or combat drones? Strikes have been conducted reportedly. Where were the strikes conducted? Drone strikes or air strikes? Which Fano faction was the target of these drone strikes? Details for use. Operation against Amhara militia Fano is underway discreetly. Security forces are trying to arrest top Fano commanders. Large-scale operations cannot be conducted discreetly, but security forces are in a difficult position. They want to ensure that locals don't rise in support of Fano fighters. At the same time, they want to capture Fano fighters. So we are seeing that they take that they advance, they retreat, then they reorganize themselves. Security forces, they try to surround Fano fighters. That we have been seeing in Gujjam, in Shewa, in Gondar to some extent as well. Basically, they're finding it difficult to start an all-out operation against Fano in Amhara region. For the first time since the start of this operation weeks ago, drone use is being confirmed. That Ethiopian Air Force is now using drones. Reconnaissance drones were already being used. If you remember, in a video a few days ago, I said that reconnaissance drones were there over Amhara region, trying to monitor the movement of Fano fighters, especially in Shewa, which is very mountainous. And here, reconnaissance drones were being used to track the movement of Fano fighters. But now, another escalation. Escalation is arising. Ethiopian Air Force is using combat drones. Drone strikes were conducted on Wednesday reportedly. It happened in Shewa. Last night I reported that there was fighting near Shewa Robit. Shewa Robit, one of the main towns in North Shore zone. Security forces have been deployed in Shewa Robit, around Shewa Robit for days. Dasi to Shewa Robit to the Brasina Road was blocked several times in the past few days by Fano fighters, by their supporters. Ethiopian army contingents opened the road and then Fano fighters blocked them. It has been happening. Security forces, they retreated from Shewa Robit a few days ago, but the withdrawal was not complete, and they kept their positions intact in most of the areas of North Shore. Yesterday, security forces moved towards Rasa from Shewa Robit. There was fighting close to Rasa, to the west and south of Shewa Robit. Not along the main road, but to the west and south of Shewa Robit in mountainous forested areas. And after the clashes, security forces withdrew towards main towns, shore orbit, main road, and after that, drone strikes were conducted near Rasa. That is what we have learned. Were the strikes drone strikes or air strikes? It's difficult to say. Since the army, the air force is trying to track and monitor the exact position of Fano fighters in Shewa, the strikes could be drone strikes. Ethiopian drones are advanced, capable of carrying out precision strikes. Ethiopia has Turkish TB2s, we know that. We have seen these drones in operation against Tigray fighters. Deadly Turkish TB2 drones. Then Ethiopia has Winglongs, Chinese Winglong drones provided to Ethiopia by the United Arab Emirates. But TB2s are deadlier than Winglongs. Accurate, they work at day and night, and the explosives that they use are extremely destructive. Special type of munition is used by these drones, MML, laser guided, I think. So I would be surprised if I knew that the strikes were drone strikes. It was very much expected that Ethiopian forces were going to use drones against Fano fighters. Targeted drone strikes. Now, we have seen that Ethiopian government used drones against Tigray fighters. We saw that in the 2-year-long war. Then drone strikes were conducted against Ola fighters too. From Benishangul Gumuz, these drones flew and they conducted drone strikes. I reported that. Now, drone strikes against Fano fighters. This use of air force will take the tensions in Amhara region to a new level. Of course, Amhara activists are going to launch a new narrative now, that they are being hunted by the drones, that they fought to protect these drones, to protect these bases where the drones are stationed. When Tigray fighters were trying to reach the bases from where these drones were flying, Fano fighters, Amhara forces were protecting those sites. And now the same drones are being used against Fano fighters. It's difficult to say, difficult to assess the damage caused by these drone strikes. After a few days, maybe, not a few hours, we'll be able to get information from the ground, because main target of the Ethiopian forces in Shewa is Shewa Fano commander Balete Shagao. Government forces accuse him of being involved in the assassination of Girma Shitila. And government forces tried to arrest him. Government forces tried to arrest Yemere Vodajo as well. Both were accused of Girma Shitila's murder. Can we say these drone strikes show that security forces are now becoming desperate, that they have not been able to arrest top Fano commanders? At the same time, they are finding it difficult to launch a full-scale operation against Fano. So, being frustrated, they are conducting drone strikes. I have been saying that government force is in a difficult position. It's difficult to start a full-scale operation in the region. That is why we heard that a new militia was being formed in the Amhara region. Militia is being recruited reportedly with youth and lower PP level members who are loyal to the PP, farmers, they could be recruited reportedly. So government is finding it difficult to launch operation openly. That is why we are now seeing the introduction of these drones. Drone strikes can be used to target, to precisely target bases, vehicles, or even individuals. A few people sitting on the ground can be targeted very accurately from the air through these drones. So let's see what happens. In coming hours, things will be clearer about the damage caused by these drone strikes in Shewa. No report of strikes in other parts of Amhara region so far. Only confirmation is from North Shewa that drone strikes have been conducted reportedly. Thank you for watching.